A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Need turkey tips? Our Butterball Turkey Talk line is open. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
Ask me. Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them. We'll read them. Then we'll give you answers. You know it. I've got it. I've got the answer. The answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
Welcome back to year 3 of quarantine because people can't wrap their minds around the idea that you shouldn't be eating out in restaurants and touching each other. I was going to save this for my bottom of the cob, but I'm just going to say this. So Noah and I were driving down Hollywood Boulevard last night. We had just come back from a very responsible social distance dinner with 2 friends. He even prepared the food with gloves on. And it was nice to not only be out of the house and see other people, but I chose to take the scenic route back home to drive through Hollywood because, you know, I wanted to see my city. So we're driving down Hollywood Boulevard, which if you don't live here, it's this iconic street, kind of like Sunset. All of our streets are iconic. It's Hollywood. But it's a hole, much like most of Hollywood and most of Los Angeles. It is just, they've tried to gussy it up. But if you see someone walking down Hollywood Boulevard, things aren't going well or they're like a Belgian tourist. Mm-hmm. But it's that thing, it's for tourists because nobody in Hollywood goes on Hollywood Boulevard. There's like a Buffalo Wild Wings. The coolest thing there might be like the Roosevelt Hotel, and that's like slightly off Hollywood Boulevard. But it was a Tuesday night at 9:30. If you're on Hollywood Boulevard during Corona at night on a Tuesday, something has gone wrong. And we drove past a bar, a really dingy dive bar that like I wouldn't even go into in my 20s. And there's just people drinking, sitting outside. And they were all gross looking people, again, because it's Hollywood Boulevard. And I'm like, okay, whatever, maybe. I was like, no, those people are terrible. Hollywood Boulevard is known for its performers. And obviously it's at night, so there aren't any. And I hear music and I kind of roll down the window to see what it is. And I see a guy kind of dancing and people gathered around him as they do. It's a guy giving out lap dances.
Ew.
So there's like a group of girls, probably like a bachelorette party, the saddest one because it's a Tuesday night on Hollywood Boulevard.
In coronavirus.
Grinding on her. She's sitting on a chair he had set up and he's dancing on her. No one is wearing a mask. And they're all like, yeah, this is great. Taking pictures. And I'm like, this is why America is on fire. Because you're in a pandemic getting a lap dance from a street performer without a mask. So many parts of that are not okay. And the mask is just like the shit on top of your turd sundae.
Yeah.
Just adding more shit. Just shit on shit. So that was extra disgusting.
I would like that version of Contagion. Did you see Contagion? Where they trace back the disease and it basically was Gwyneth Paltrow went to some fancy restaurant in China. Someone touched something, then shook her hand. Then she cheated on her husband. Then she gave the disease to them. And you like see how it traveled. And here it's like, oh, and then a street performer gave a lap dance. And then that woman went home.
Can I say, without having seen Contagion, it does seem like it's low-key shaming a woman for cheating on her husband. Like, is that not the theme? And in this case, the theme is, a woman sought sexual pleasure and you're spreading a disease. That being said, I doubt those people because they looked horrible. I doubt they have health insurance. And you, taxpayers, will be paying for them when they go to a hospital because they have corona from getting like stripper sweat from like male stripper sweat in their mouths. Oh, it was disgusting.
Even if we weren't in a time of disease, I wouldn't want to partake in that.
No, I wouldn't want to be on Hollywood. Every time I end up on Hollywood Boulevard, like driving home,
bad.
Every time I'm like, ugh, why did I end up here? It's always bad. It's always hot. It's always gross.
People are rushing the car like zombies, just wandering the streets.
I did a stand-up show, a social distance stand-up show in Hollywood recently, and there was like, I think hookah bars are horrible. It's where you go when you're 17 or 18. You can't drink it. Or like, well, I can get high off of this mango flavored tobacco. They're always ratchet, always.
Yeah.
And so I'm on my way to it, and I felt bad because it's like a residential neighborhood. It's this hookah bar that is way too big. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was a hookah bar, but they had hookah, and it just seemed like a shitty bar in North Hollywood. And it was a massive patio, and they were blaring music. And I'm like, there are apartments around here. And there were these like 4 people who were the trashiest looking, just sitting there smoking hookah. No one had a mask. And I'm just like, is this just really squeezing the most out of life? Just ruining it for everyone?
Yeah.
Just like the shittiest trap music, the grossest smelling hookah, blaring rap, like daring you to say something. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you guys, and they were just like early 20s, the shittiest age.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking as like someone older was like, oh, I feel so bad for the people who live in the apartments around this.
Yeah.
Just all about how nobody cares about anybody else's feelings. Nobody.
Well, Genevieve Rose 1922 says, hey, Iliza, Emily, and Tianfu, how has it been performing for masked people? Is it strange not seeing complete facial expressions? Have you adjusted your act at all, or do you just go out there and kill it? Thanks.
I do go out there and kill it. I have to be honest, I never look at facial expressions when I'm doing my act normally anyway. I try not to really make eye contact. It's a little uncomfortable. I tend to just kind of stare at the horizon of the theater. It's weird. It's sort of apples to oranges. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just different. It's beyond facial expression. You can't see anyone in general because they're all in their cars. Some people set up little chairs outside, which I totally encourage.
If it's allowed. Some venues allow it, some don't.
Right, rule police. But I just don't have to tell them the rules. It's dystopian and it's weird, but it's fun and you can feel the energy. The honking feels good for once in your life, and it's a really cool vibe, and we're doing our tour. It's going to be called the what? Why can't I say it?
I don't know if we're announcing it yet.
It doesn't matter. It will be out or it won't. It doesn't. No.
Okay. Well,
we're going to be.
This.
Why?
Because we can't talk about it on the podcast if it hasn't been announced.
It doesn't matter. I'm not saying the dates. I'm not saying anything. We're going to be launching. Do not cut this out. I will fire you. We're going to be launching a drive-in tour, going through all of these cities. And it's great. It's super fun. It's an American feeling. It's Americana. It's drive-ins. It's cars. It's tailgates. So look out for that date announcement. How's that legal disclaimer?
Thank you.
Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet. That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling. And nothing feels better year-round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way, you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details. So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat. That's one of those, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Liza.
Baby whale. Killer
Charisma
whale.
Jane.
Wait.
That just sounds like a puppy crying. Charisma Jane. Hi, Liza and Emily. I've had some anxiety problems in the last year or so. They're pretty mild compared to other people's.
Why? What's there to be anxious about? Everything's great.
But just learning how to cope with things as I've never had anxiety before. However, every time I talk to people, friends, family, professionals, they seem to always attribute my anxiety to my dad trying to come back into my life. For context, my parents got a divorce when I was 5, and I spent every second weekend with my dad until I was 10. He then told me he was going on a trip to America for a month, but then never came back.
Oh my God.
I live in Australia, and he currently lives in Texas. He's made some poor efforts to try and stay in contact, but I hardly reciprocate. I don't feel like this contributes to my anxiety. I honestly don't care that he left because my mom was such an amazing mom that I never feel like I missed out on a childhood. Why would this be an issue now? Are people just saying this because it's easy to associate a woman's anxiety with daddy issues? Or do you think I have some suppressed trauma from my dad leaving? I know it sounds bad, but I don't even think about him and never really missed him. He abandoned me, so I would never let him back into my life to do it again.
Stop.
Especially now that I have a son. Any advice is appreciated. Saw you when you were in Sydney last, and it was amazing.
Did you hear the language you used? He abandoned me, so I'd never let him back in my life to do it again. So you clearly, I wouldn't let him hurt me again. I would never let him do that again, the thing that I don't care about. So if it didn't happen or not, I wouldn't care. But if it did, I would care. It is impossible for you to not have some feelings about this. I saw this meme that was like, we always make it like daddy's issues are a woman's fault and we never talk about the dad that fucked it up. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be that archetype. You don't have to be like, oh, sad girl with daddy issues, You decide for yourself what you need for closure. I have a friend who made a decision to cut her father out of her life because he was a crazy person. I don't think she thinks about it. She was like, he's not invited to my wedding, and she never looked back because the harm outweighed the benefits. Mm-hmm. You need to make peace with it. You either need to decide, this is what my father is capable of giving. Mm-hmm. We all reach that age where we realize our parents aren't superheroes. And either accept that that's what it's going to be, or you can actively make the decision to cut him out. But I think you should confront it because you probably have anxiety just about life in general, but you wouldn't have bothered to write in to have a total stranger tell you that it's something you should deal with. If there wasn't something there. Right. It would be weird if you truly didn't care.
Especially, I think, because she mentions that she has a son. So I'm sure that you're thinking about that more, your parental relationship.
And you know what? You'll probably be a better mother because of it. And, you wouldn't want to pass that trauma on. But this is not about your son. This is about you. And maybe you should, sometimes people like write a note to yourself or to him, like, what would you want to say? Mm-hmm. Talk to him. But you have to decide. I can't tell you, but I do think it is a little, and then there's plenty of, it might be such a deep trauma that you aren't ready to understand it yet. And it might reveal itself in a weird way later, but he is still your father, and that does run deep. And I think it's worth taking a look at. Maybe just see a psychologist or something and just start talking about it.
Yeah. Figure out where the anxiety is coming from besides just the world ending.
Yeah. But
That
I would take a
causing
look
it.
at that.
Yeah.
Saying that I'm a qualified medical professional. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't
pretty
say
qualified.
that. We also legally don't want you to say that.
You know, define qualify. Define medical. Define professional.
Teacup. Hi.
Doctor. A doctor of fun.
Teacup. Hi, Iliza Baby Armancino. I love all your work and have been so enjoying Don't Panic Pantry in the pod. I just started a new remote job at one very important public health agency, Wink, and we're all setting
Is it who?
I would guess CDC. And we're all setting the example by working remotely. Every time I'm muted on a meeting, I visualize everyone else on mute having virtual nectarine insanity a la the sketch show.
I love that.
Are there weird new business things in the age of Corona that give you business cliche feelings similar to what inspired the business-related sketches? Hope you drive in toward to Atlanta. Yes, CDC. Holding tightly to my tickets to your show at the Fox and hope to see you soon.
Oof. Soon. Hold on to those tickets very tight.
Keep holding.
I mean, or just let them go. But we'll update you.
When this comes out, there are updates about rescheduling on the website, iliza.com/tour.
I'm not secretly holding information from you. We give it as we get it.
Yeah. So weird.
I don't know. I'm not
things.
I mean, I definitely on a Zoom call. So if my laptop is open, I definitely do other things on my computer because your eye line kind of stays the same. Or I'll put my phone, lean it against the screen of the laptop, and I will do work on my phone because it looks like I'm looking at the person's image and they can't see my hands.
Yeah.
So I guess there's that. Like just doing anything else other than.
Well, your favorite business thing is for anyone on a call to accuse them of taking a dump.
Yeah,
if their video's not on.
We're just holding for John. He'll be right on. I'm like, he's taking a dump.
Or if they have their audio but not video, because sometimes people will like turn off their camera.
Oh shit, Kashi.
One Craft Valley girl said, so I just found 6 boxes of Kashi Golden Crunch in my dad's pantry. Glad we're moving out soon.
Oh my God, moving out of his butthole. Everything's moving out. Oh my God, throw it away. Otherwise you won't have a dad.
You won't have a dad.
Your dad will shit himself into oblivion.
Do you love your dad? Get that out of there.
Get that out of there.
Ella McLeod, 14. Hi, Liza, Emily, and sweet baby Tofu. I hope you're thriving. I have a long one for you, so buckle in. I'm maid of honor at my mom and dad's wedding next April.
Maid up of honor. Okay.
And I have a question for you. My mom.
Sorry, I was making a joke. She's maid of honor what?
At my mom and dad's wedding next April.
Not American. Okay.
And I have a question for you. My mom and an old friend were close for a long time before having a falling out about 10 years ago. We'll call the friend N. N was a very toxic person. She was unable to be happy for people, was smug when they were struggling, and was just generally so insecure that she would basically share. She would basically throw share at anyone's success.
Throw shade at anyone's success. Get it together.
It says through share.
Well, you know.
At anyone's success.
Share shares music.
She felt inferior.
Okay.
Classic, stupid, immature. We've seen it all before. My mom basically took your classic advice a decade early and noped out of that situation.
Nice, Mom.
She was a badass woman with a busy job and 2 kids. She didn't have time for it. However, N's husband, D, is still friends with my dad. Not best friends, but friends enough that dad not inviting D to the wedding would be a bit of a statement.
Totally.
So dad invited D to the wedding and basically didn't make it clear that he didn't have a +1. So he said he's going to bring his wife, N.
Okay.
My mom does not want N at the wedding. She doesn't want to turn around and know someone is judging her and hoping something goes wrong on one of the biggest days of her life. My parents have been together for 23 years. They deserve to have a great day. However, my dad is pretty conflict averse and feels awkward about essentially having to uninvite N and potentially cause friction with a friend. Obviously, there's a chance N won't come, but I don't know if they should leave it to chance. Would be great to know what you think. Love the show. Hope to see you next time you're in London after Rona gives us our lives
Told
back.
you she wasn't American.
She says, Mum.
Honestly, it sucks because you have to pay for her. I'm assuming. I don't know how they do it over there. But just let it go. She, first of all, it's 10 years later. So there's a chance that this lady isn't the giant bee that she was. It's your mom's, if it truly is the biggest day of your mom's life, which is like super shady at you because like, what about you being born? It's the biggest day of your mom's life. She's got other things to worry about besides like that lady giving her a glance. At most, it'll be a rude look, which no one would really do at your wedding. And at best, it'll be like, hey, how are you? How goes it? Whatever. I think your mom is giving this woman way too much power. Don't even say anything. Just let her be. Your mom should just be magnanimous. Don't even think about it. The woman probably won't come. And if she does, it's your wedding. You'll be moving around, saying hi to people. You won't even have time to think about her. And the woman also may have changed. So that's it. Yeah. The woman's probably uncomfortable going, but don't even think about it. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Even if she is judging, then that's so sad. Yeah. Who cares? You're getting married.
Yeah. Don't even focus on her. She doesn't matter.
Don't give it the power.
It's not, she doesn't, don't even give it the power of uninviting her. If she comes, she comes.
Do not do that. Yes. That's it. Your mom's got her family. Very few brides get to be surrounded by their children. Yeah. So she got a lot to deal with that day.
Yeah. All right. Anonymous.
Cake. You don't want your cake to have a layer of fucking ganache in it.
I love.
Shouldn't have been there. I did not pay. I said no chocolate. And they're like, wow, it's our signature thing. I'm like, okay, it's my signature thing. I take a dump on your head.
What is your signature
thing? It is my signature. That's my move.
Hi, friends. So I work in the entertainment field. I'm a drag queen. And normally I'm very good at dealing with whatever bullshit and shade the girls throw. I'm not one to keep negative.
I'm sorry, server.
Hi, friends. So I work in the entertainment field, a drag queen. And normally I'm very good at dealing with whatever bullshit and shade the girls throw. I'm not one to keep negative people around me because I'm a soft cinnamon roll and know what's good for my mental health and what isn't. But there's this one specific queen that I'm forced to work with on a nearly weekly basis when the world was normal that just always upsets me. She's a manager favorite, so there's no chance of me getting away from her. I'm hoping for some way to help deal with someone that is at the end of the day a little bit of a bully and I can't really get away from for the immediate future. She always puts me down, but it's wrapped in a bowl of sarcasm and friendly joking. After years of this, it's lost all charm and just makes me feel low-key bad about myself, my show, or my look for the night. I try not to let it get to me, but oftentimes from this specific person, it gets to me.
Can I just say this? Because it's tough because I don't know what that person is saying.
They're a bully.
Yeah, but I've watched RuPaul's Drag Race and some of those, usually it all comes from insecurity. Very few drag queens grow up I was super supported for being gay. I've always been fabulous. No one's ever been mean to me. And I think sometimes insecurity comes out as that. There's also the version where people think I bully Emily. But I would never joke with someone that I didn't care about. And you say things back to me. There's a repartee, but I gauge that it's sometimes breaking balls is the way that you show you love someone. And there's a version where this drag queen thinks that you can take it. And that's just the way that she relates to you. If you're saying it's been this many years, or she's jealous. Because I tend to not talk shit about people that are beneath me.
I wonder if
you hurt my feelings every time you talk to me.
No, I would agree that this person may just be like that to everyone. That's just how they talk, which doesn't make it okay if they're being truly mean.
It does make it okay.
No, not if it's mean.
I know, but what's one person's mean is another person's normal. So here's the things we don't know. I'm all for an equal opportunity offender. If someone's racist to everyone, then if you're just horrible to everyone, it feels less pointed. So I would listen in to see, is this how this person talks to everyone before you take personal offense?
I think it would be fair to, when you get back into doing events the next time this queen makes a comment, just being like, you know what, that kind of hurts my feelings. Or oh, I thought my outfit looked really good tonight. Respond to it you don't think that, because this person thinks that the question writer is down with it. And the question writer needs to be it makes me feel bad when you say those things to me.
For sure. I hear that. I think that you can always stand up for yourself and there's always a kind way to do it. I'm always a fan of a come to Jesus. I also, having been around people that are awful, you can give it less oxygen. You do the comic green room blinder thing where you don't even acknowledge them and you don't say anything. And they're like, what? You're not saying anything. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. Saying that to someone always incites rage. Why aren't you spitting it back at me, honey? You're like, I'm good. And giving it, because then you might unearth something, or they may be like, hey, what's wrong? You seem so down.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to get to a place where hey, it's so tough because I don't know if this person talks to other people like this. If it's truly just you, and are you a better looking queen? Are you in awe of this person? Do you consider this person to be better than you and you want their acceptance? Like, I would really sort of unpack that. If the person is just shitty to you, I'm sure it comes from jealousy. It's okay to pull aside and be like, hey, I wanted to give you the respect of having a face-to-face conversation because I respect you. I like you. We work together a lot. It feels like you don't like me. I did that once. I confronted someone on a show and I was like, I have no problem with you. I don't know. And the woman was such a bitch. She was like, you started it. I'm like, I didn't. I don't even know you. Like, you're so, it was that one thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm scared.
It was that show that we did. Remember that lady? I was just like, I'm going to beat you, like joking. And she was just like, and she like lost it on me.
Wait.
I had to stop during commercial break to be like, hey, I was just joking. It's just a fun competition. And she like would not, like hated me. And in that moment, I was like, oh, this is about something that has nothing to do with me. This is about what I represent to you. This is about your own insecurities. And I was just like, I'm done dealing with this person.
Well, and it's not, if you're never going to see that person again, like when my friend would always make me go to comedy clubs with her, which I do not enjoy. And she
Good news, you don't have to because there are none.
But she would just be like, she'd always be with some different horrible male comedian. And I would just straight up not engage with them. And she'd be like, why are you being so rude? It's like, I'm never going to have to see this man again. He's rude. I don't want to talk to him. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. You being rude or preemptively being rude, knowing he was going to be rude. There's always that.
I would already know that they were rude.
Okay,
but
well, then that's rude.
Those are instances where you're going to get out of it, like with your situation. But this queen has to see the other queen all the time. So yeah, I mean, you just need to talk to her.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it has anything to do with you or she's jealous, but first suss out, is this how she is with everyone? Suss out, are you wanting this person's approval? Are they mean just to be mean? Make sure it's specific to you and then be like, I can't get a gauge on this. I feels like you don't like me. And I just wanted to talk to you because we work together. Be as disarming as possible. Because there's a version where she's like, I'm sorry, like I'm just messing with you and I don't mean it. I feel like a drag queen would be like, honey, that's just the way that I am. And if you can't handle it, in which case you just need to start ignoring that person.
Yeah.
Give them the chance to be human.
Yeah.
Like I did with that lady who was so mean to me. I was just like, okay, well, I'm just here to be on TV.
Hi, Iliza, Emily, in the memory of Hot Scotty.
Oh, and don't forget to slay and be fishy. Fishy.
Iliza, would you consider
Hot Scotty?
Would you consider permitting Tianfu to have her cookie and or dumpling on your bed? I get that they are gross, but isn't all that grossness essentially already all over the bed as a result of the cross-contamination that happens from living with other beings? Also, it would make Tianfu so happy, so why not? Cheers. Tianfu wrote this question in.
It's like backward R's. Just like, would you consider letting me crisscross Tianfu? It's more about boundaries with an animal. And the idea that like, no, you can't just rule the house. You can't have treats because after your toy, then it's a treat. You can't eat your treats on the bed. You can't eat your treats on the couch. Animals crave rules. And she has to know, first of all, I think her treat is like a pacifier and it's like a child, like you can't take it everywhere. She just has to know that she is pretty much allowed to do whatever she wants. And, that's like saying like, why can't you just let her poop on the carpet? It makes her happy. I don't care. We don't want a weird dog that needs a pacifier everywhere it goes. She has the bow in her mouth the other 16 hours of the day because she sleeps with us for like several hours at night. So you just like when we got her, we put her in a cage, and we crated her at night. And then we realized that she just wanted to lay in bed with us, which is fine. Got to draw boundaries. You don't want to be, because she already growls at everything and we try to deal with it. More on that later. So I try to draw those boundaries where we can. Been since December. She still doesn't understand it can't come on the bed. I don't think she's great at learning things, but she is great at having a donut mouth.
All right. So
I also believe in spoiling your pets if they're good pets. Like she's a sweet girl. She just lays here. She gets protective, but like never bites, never pees where she shouldn't. Like she does a good job and she's so traumatized and she's just laying here right now. She's just a sweet girl.
Yeah.
She's just a sweet girl with donut mouth and biscuit nose.
So Anna Farnan says, I have a story about Kashi Goleen Crunch. Context. I go to the United States Naval Academy. The whole school eats at one time, and so we eat family style and don't get a lot of options when it comes to meals. It's generally chicken and potatoes and the occasional overcooked vegetable. That being said, they do try really hard to give us options. So we have yogurt, apples, bananas, and cereal available at all times.
Whoa.
I'm now a senior at the academy. I spent the last 3 years eating Kashi Goling Crunch. It's one of our cereal options.
Are you texting me from the ER?
This whole time I thought I was somehow intolerant to chicken and potatoes, and that's why I've been bloated and gassy and miserable for years.
Oh my God.
I only just found your podcast and I've been binge listening. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. It has definitely affected some portion of my life. You have freed me from this perpetual walking gas chamber. Thank you for all the other positive and life-changing info you've dumped into my brain. I use Buffy and Native now, and I love your podcast.
I love that. First of all, thank you for the service you will be rendering to our country. Also, Kashi, do you hear that? You're hurting our military. You are not helping us protect our borders on land and sea. Oh, that's the Coast Guard. Whatever. She could be the next SEAL Team 6, number 2. Number 2, definitely number 2.
I cannot believe she's thought that she was like intolerant of chicken. This could change
This
her
is pure protein. It can't bloat
life.
you. I feel so bad for you. I'm so glad I helped you. And get that off your shelves. Also, why are we making this product? Just shows you everything that they say is healthy for you isn't.
But there must be like 90% of people that are eating it and are fine. And the other 10% are rendered so incapacitated that they turn to forums, they turn to podcasts.
No, or they're like her where they're just eating it and they're like, it must be something else because this is healthy Kashi. It's an earth cereal. Or if you're eating it and you know you're anorexic, you're just like, I love blowing it out.
At what point is Kashi gonna like sue us for slander or libel?
You know what? It's not untrue. And I'll take a dump in the courtroom to show you. You could strap a smart car to me and I would power it through the mid-Wilshire area.
I'm so glad that Anna's life is going to change for the better.
To protect and serve and dump out.
They're all just in that place together, just...
What's the Navy's? Army is Go Army.
I don't know.
U.S. Marine is like, hey, come sign up. And the Navy is Splish Splash.
No.
It's Splish Splash. I'm pretty sure it's Splish Splash. Navy. It's not blue.
It is.
Navy. We're not a store.
Non-Sibby said patriot. Not self, but country.
Non-Sibby Sib.
Oh, what does the Navy say instead of Semper Fi? Oh, Semper Fortis. Always strong or always courageous.
Okay, cool. Navy, not named after the bean. Kick it. I don't need to look that up.
Okay. Tina, 419. Hi, Iliza, baby arm, chow food, and smoky husky. When you eat a taco, do you tilt your head or the taco?
That's a great question. I have to act it out right here. I tilt my head and the taco.
Yeah.
Like going in for a kiss.
You meet in between. The taco goes
turn up the chin of the taco
and you go up.
And I caress its neck.
Ew.
I tilt my head.
And the taco.
Who doesn't tilt their head?
I don't know. Do people like just go
like a sandwich?
Yeah. That doesn't work. Because stuff's going to
fall out. You got to go into it.
Yeah.
You got to tilt it. There's ergonomics at play.
You gotta.
There's physics at play.
You gotta.
Don't ask me any more stupid questions. We all know you have to do the tilt, the double tilt. I've noticed that, at least since I've had my babies, that I smell differently when I sweat. Maybe I'm just like getting older. I don't know, but I smell differently. And I don't love that. If I'm on set or if I'm on stage or if I'm doing anything like functioning in public and I don't want sweat stains or to be aware of my stinky, stinky pits, that's when I turn to Lumi Whole Body Deodorant because it keeps me smelling fresh all day. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, under boobs, right ladies, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, your feet. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Well, unlike certain traditional deodorants that may try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. If you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code Iliza for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code Iliza at LumeDeodorant.com.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Sarah Von Paul. Yay, love the episode of Eliza's mom, such a lovely woman. Yes, my husband and I are going to start an IVF cycle soon, and we will hopefully be first-time parents within a year. Since Eliza is about my age and her parents had her when they were more mature, my question is, what was it like growing up with older parents? My husband and I are hoping we'll be cool, just more mature parents. My top of the cob this week was the newest part of the Kashi Golin saga.
I've never had younger parents, but what I can tell you is you're exposed to their music. So I don't think I grew up. And also I think it's less about the parent and also more about like I didn't have an older sibling. So like I didn't have that sibling showing me what was cool. And it was all sort of a discovery on my own. We listened to like a lot of Barbra Streisand, like Linda Ronstadt. My mom loved John Philip Sousa. My mom's parents were my mom's a baby boomer and her dad, fought in World War II. So I grew up with like specific knowledge about that and a certain respect for the country and things like that. I'm not saying people don't have that, but she was closer to that generation. So I felt like I had more firsthand information from my grandparents because she was a little bit older. I think the pop culture and the music thing, like if you asked my mom, like what was cool in the 90s, she probably wouldn't be able to tell you, or any movies or sort of pop culture-y things. Because I think when you're a little older, or maybe that's just my mom. So I think I missed out on what I missed out on current pop culture things I gained in, seeing The Sound of Music and getting my name from My Fair Lady and older references. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
She definitely had energy and worked out. And it's not like I had like a 70-year-old mother.
Right.
So that's it. Your parents, whoever they are, wherever they're from, however they are, will raise you with the things that they grew up with. So for us, it was just a little bit earlier in the century.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were a little older. They had me and my sister in their 30s. So it's fine.
So yeah. Yeah, if I asked her now, like I remember it was cool because like I could ask her about like the Beatles and stuff. But my mom, maybe it's just more about like what she was into. Like I don't think my mom could tell you one Madonna song.
Yeah, my mom loves Paul McCartney.
All moms love Paul McCartney. Although I don't. Yeah, John Philip Sousa. She loved that. My mom, anyway, that's it. Yeah, different time periods.
Kippo 22. Eliza, have you scaled back your cold brew intake? You were getting crazy on it for a little bit. You were getting real. Every episode you were sipping on.
I think it was affecting my sleep.
I think so too.
And I was just like, I just love the buzz, but then eventually it just becomes a little nauseating. So now I do 1 cup of coffee a day. Have it in the morning and we're good. Because now I can sleep like a person. So yes, but I do cherish that cup.
Yeah. Eliza, this is anonymous. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. I just graduated high school. I've struggled all through school with friendships. I try to always be a good friend, look out for people, plan fun things to do, try hard to include others, etc. I seem to get left out and excluded all of the time. I'm so tired of losing friends and feeling left out, and I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. How do you maintain friendships and build a network of friends that mutually care about one another? I know I'm young and teenagers are awful, but I'm lost and sad.
That's it. You don't have to worry about building a network. You find your tribe. It was weird. I was thinking about this. I was like, oh wow, a lot of the kids I went to college with are still all very close. And some you can't force it. Like I'm friendly with them, but like I'm not part of that tight-knit circle. But to be fair, I wasn't part of their tight-knit circle going in. And like I dabble in different friend groups. So some people have tons of friends. Some people are lying and say they have tons of friends, but really have like a lot of acquaintances. You find your tribe. And it sucks because we all want to be friends with like the cool kid, but like you just got to find your tribe and you can't try too hard. And if you're the one trying, those people aren't for you. That's it. You'll find it. You're fine. And you know what? I bet you have friends that you aren't counting. I bet you have close friends that always show up to your things and always want to do stuff. And you're like, well, I want other friends. Your friends are your friends and cherish them. It's okay to network. It's okay to meet people, but anybody that doesn't reciprocate, it's just exhausting. And you don't want that. Grass is always greener. You'll be okay.
Yeah, it's especially you're leaving high school, you're going into college. College is totally different.
Fuck high school, who cares? And you know what? If you need a friend, call Emily. She'll come over.
Okay, so Rodrigo says, you helped me with my sister's situation a while back. I did what you said. I was honest with her, told her how I felt. It worked. She understood. Now we're building our friendship as siblings
You're
again.
welcome. You can find my bill in the mail.
So thank you so much for the advice. I have a question too. I've been having issues in the dating area. Haha. Girls don't seem to like me. What could I do to seem more appealing to girls so they want to get to know me?
I don't know, because I don't know what you look like. I don't know what creepy thing you're writing. Also, girls don't seem to like me. What, of the 10 that didn't connect with you? Dating is a numbers game. And the more you do it, the more likely it is you're going to find a match. I highly doubt that you're so undesirable that nobody wants you. There is the version where you're going after the wrong girl, which is a lesson you have to learn on your own. There's the version where you're going for your standards are too high, or you don't know what you want. You're going out with all different types of girls. So just keep trying. And if they're not the one, they're not the one. People get all bent out of shape. Like, oh, this hot girl didn't like me. This guy didn't like me. That wasn't the one for you. That's it.
Or you're messaging me and I'm telling you it's a pandemic.
Always be working on yourself. Always be honest, kind. And if somebody can't handle that, then that's not the person for you. But always be the best version and the highest light of yourself. You know, if you love collecting dolls, fucking say that. Because there's a girl out there to be like, I love dolls too. Never be the version of what someone else wants. Because you might be missing out on the person that's right for you because you're being inauthentic. Always be yourself. There's a lid for every pot. Probably several lids for every pot. Like you really think, oh, my true love lived in my town. Really? What are the odds of that? It's just that person was near and it worked out enough. I don't believe in soulmates. I believe there are many people that you could end up with, and you're going to find one of those out there. Keep looking. Don't get bitter. It is ugly. Women don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember watching like Blind Date or Fifth Wheel or like one of those. And this guy who was like super average looking, which is fine. Plenty of average looking people, went on a date, or he was like standing with some women, like trying to talk to them. And he's like, so how are you guys doing? And they didn't hear him, which is the worst when you hear someone say something and no one else hears it. And he's like, so, he tries it. And he's like, so how are you guys doing? And then you see him go, okay, let's try this again. How are you guys doing? And I was like, ew. Angry single guy is the worst. It's the thing I caution my male friends on. I'm like, bitter, angry single guy doesn't get the hate it deserves. People are always like, oh, she's bitter and single. Nothing worse than bitter, angry single guy.
Yeah.
So just know that your standards are a lot lower as a man, and you'll find someone. I'm sorry, was that boring for you?
No. Colin, do you have a memorable bit that you would do when you first started doing comedy? The first video I saw of you was Hurricane Tammy, and I haven't stopped laughing since.
God, Hurricane Tammy. I mean, I remember a lot of the bits, but I remember I used to walk on stage and I'd be like, how are you guys doing? This was like the first iteration of my girl voice. How are you guys doing? You guys having fun? Enjoying the show? And people were so rude. This was at the Comedy Union. I remember it was, and they just stopped laughing. It was like a showcase. But I would open my show that way when no one knew who I was. And then I'd be like, I'm just messing with you guys. It's not my voice. And people would like lose it. They're like, oh, thank God. It's like nobody wanted to listen to that. But that was my way of like getting them. It was a way of saying, hey, we know that voice is annoying. Don't worry, I'm not that.
Yeah.
And then people were like, I'm on her side. She gets it.
She's not annoying.
Yeah. That was it. I remember that. I can't do it now. People will be like, that's not your voice. I'm so famous now. It's so hard. I have such a brand.
Audrey says, hello to my favorite podcasting duo.
Yeah.
I was wondering, in all your travel, had there been a regional food that you absolutely love? And has there been one that you've had that you're still baffled why people eat it? Thanks for keeping up our spirits. Now, when you say what you're baffled by, we need to be careful so it's not racist.
It's not. That's very fair. But that's not the case. It's actually very white. I don't get Skyline chili.
What is that?
It's famous in Cincinnati. It's chili on spaghetti, which in theory I get. I don't want that. That's like too much of a bad thing. But they make theirs with cinnamon. And I want to say there's cocoa in it, but I'm not the cocoa powder, but cinnamon, and they fucking love it. And you know what? That's fine. Because it's a white thing. I can like go hard on this. Not a fan. Not a fan of the Skyline chili.
No, me neither.
In Pittsburgh, Permanente Brothers, they do the hamburger with French fries on it. which when you're drunk is tasty, but I had it sober once and I was like, nope. And the fries were cold. Other than that though, so much love for Pittsburgh. And then I remember in Rochester, they have a garbage plate.
What is that?
I don't remember because all I remember from playing Rochester years ago was that there were geese and they pooped and Blanche got goose poop in her beard.
Oh, I do remember that.
I was also there when they were shooting Spider-Man, which was pretty cool.
Oh, who was Spider-Man? Was that when it was Toby or when it was Andrew or when it was Tom Holland?
I think it was Toby. It was a very long time ago.
Okay.
Garbage plate consists of home fries, macaroni salad, baked beans, and then burgers or hot dogs on it. It's too much. It's just too much of a bad thing.
It's too much.
I'm not shaming you for eating it. It's just something, that's not cuisine. I don't want that.
That's not cuisine.
But a lot of things are born, much like the Permanente Brothers thing, are born out of necessity. Like someone's working. It's like, get all the food in there. Like people that had peanuts in their Coca-Cola, like just get all your food, shovel it in.
Yeah.
If you're asking me for favorite regional things, I mean, Charleston's one of the best food cities in the world. The Ordinary is extraordinary. I had a Coca-Cola cake in Charleston.
What's that?
It's a chocolate cake, and instead of sugar, you use Coca-Cola. Outstanding. But you know, I've been all over the world. I don't know. You'd be hard pressed to be like, I went to this country and their food writ large is horrible.
Yeah.
So I loved the food in Sweden. I found the thing that I liked. Obviously Japan's amazing. If we're talking about just the United States, I mean, I love going to Hawaii because of all the different Asian flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like a specific local thing. Obviously, like powdered sugar beignets in Louisiana at Cafe Du Monde, which is a tourist thing, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is,
those are good.
every culture, everywhere has something tasty for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Asia tour, fucking pumped. Singapore, went to the hawker stands. It's all great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always go out of our way to try to find like a flavor that represents where we're eating. We were in Cape Cod recently. I ate mini lobster rolls. I was very proud of myself. So trying to think of like a quintessential snack. And I'm also kind of a healthy eater, so I kind of don't really garbage out. So, but yeah, that's one of the great parts about America is that there are so many cultures coming together to make the country and the food is readily available. You just got to find it. Florida's fun. They have a lot of, in Orlando, a lot of Southeast Asian restaurants. So we always go for Southeast Asian food. And we always enjoy that. I always try to find like the immigrant food in a place. If there's a huge immigrant group there. Just the terms. So and I think it's, is it Vietnamese food in Sacramento? What's that restaurant I went to? It's not Thai. Pretty sure it's Vietnamese. Anyway. Kick it.
Ashley says, hey, Liza and Emily. I have 3 young kids, and I just finished staying at my mom's house for a month and a half with my kids, but without my husband.
I have 3 young kids, and I just finished staying for a month and a half at my mom's house without my kids?
With my kids, but without my husband.
Okay.
It was really difficult being in someone else's space for so long, especially with my toddler, and that space not being child-proofed and not having a ton of help.
Now I only have 2 kids.
Now we're in Florida. We just moved here from the Dallas area, and it feels good to be in normalcy, but I need a break from my crazy kids. Where should I go or what should I do? I may be able to get a friend to join, but it will probably just be me. I want to do something fun and not just end up alone in a hotel the whole time. Obviously, either social distancing activities or ideas for me to do when things are back to normal.
I don't know because I haven't lived in Dallas since I was 18.
No, they're in Florida now. Left Dallas, came to Florida.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not from Florida. Do something on the water. Why don't you do a spa day? Are those even open? I'm sure in Florida they are.
Yeah, be careful where you go in Florida because they may be open, but they maybe shouldn't be.
Take some drugs and just wander out into the Everglades. I don't know.
Getting a hotel room and just being away from your kids may be all that you need.
I get an in-room massage and like a tasty dinner.
Yeah.
And just
not
masturbate to sleep. I don't know. Go for a run, walk down the Miami, what's that famous street on Miami Beach? Half naked like everyone else there and just enjoy your body.
Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. It's so hot outside.
It's so hot outside.
Maybe you can go out on the water. Careful though. No, I don't know. I'm not from there. I don't know.
Anon. Hey, Iliza, I need some advice on an overprotective parent. I am an only child, and my mom always gets mad or insulted if I go out with my friends and don't invite her. She has always been the cool mom, but I need my own life. Any advice appreciated. Thanks to the amazing live show. It was so awesome to see you and Hunter during this craziness.
You got to just say that to your mom. Be like, I just want time with my friends.
That's so tough, though. Like, I feel like it's going to be, the mom's not going to be receptive if the mom is wanting to hang out with
I mean,
kids'
there's
friends.
also the version where you call your mom's bluff and be like, we're going to this Guar concert and we all headbang and drink Monster the whole time.
Monster.
You know, there's a version where like she can't hang just because she's older now. Like, I don't want to go to a super loud concert. I don't know. I'm always a fan of saying it. At least your truth will be out there.
Yeah.
You know, or just like be like, yeah, we're going out at 2 a.m. That's when the club opens. Like things that she doesn't want to do, or just include her in big deal. But that's a little weird if you're like fucking dude.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go out with my friends. I love my mom, but I want to do mom stuff with my mom. And
Maybe
friend
she
stuff
just wants
with
to
my
be with
friends.
you, and so maybe she wants to hang out with you a little bit more.
So set a separate time where you two can hang out.
But it's okay to be like, I just want to hang out with my friends. You don't want to do this stuff. Mom should be like, yes, I do. I'm hip. Trap music. Payback music.
Courtney, what do you do to challenge your underlying beliefs and assumptions? I feel like I'm learning new things every day, and it's hard to form a concrete opinion or stance on an issue when there's always more to learn.
There's always more to learn, but it's so valuable to be autodidactic and do your own research. You can always read both sides of an argument. That's always fascinating. Like take a news event and see how both sides cover it, because something's always left out by either side, conservative or liberal. And you'll notice that eventually you start coming to the same conclusions over and over. And that's how you form an opinion. You also don't need to form an opinion. Like nobody's really asking you. No one's asking you to vote on current events. When it comes to political candidates, you should always do your own research on research, talk to people that you trust, you know? Sometimes I have like a friend that I think is the smartest. I'll call him. I'll be like, what do you think about this? And you know, does that match up with your views? What are your objectives and what are your goals as a citizen? What's sacred to you? Is it the environment? Is it Black Lives Matter? Is it women's rights? Is it men's rights? Is it gay rights? Like, what are the things that matter to you? And then start seeking out things about that. You'll see whatever wafts into your baleen.
Okay. Audrey, hi Iliza, just finished watching you and Noah on DPP. You replied to me because I was having a Topo Chico and said it felt like we were really hanging out. You also said I was beautiful and had a dainty doll chin when we got to meet via Looped, and it's now my most favorite compliment ever.
That does sound like me.
My question's for you. Would you please tell us your engagement story? I actually went with my then boyfriend to pick up the ring he bought for me, then made me hold the bag in my lap for nearly 3 hours while we drove home, and I wasn't allowed to look at it. We lived in San Diego at the time and picked it up in LA. A couple nights later, we went to dinner.
3 hours? What route did you take?
San Diego to LA?
One time I made it hour 45.
That's not right. A couple nights later, we went to dinner, and then he proposed while we were walking through a beautiful garden at a resort that I couldn't see because it was dark and the resort didn't have their outdoor lights on.
Ugh.
We've been married for 7 years. If your story is too personal or sacred or special to you, then I have another question. Do you want the other question? You answer both?
No, it's just not like an amazing proposal. It's not like we did it like on a helipad, although we did take our wedding pictures on a helipad.
I was involved.
People know the story. It's fine. He had a family diamond that was bequeathed to him. And it was a round diamond. And I had never really thought about my engagement ring, but I thought at the time, I was like, oh, I would love an emerald cut, but you can't cut a diamond that beautiful and that old. So we went to look at settings because you don't really know what you want until you start trying stuff on. And we saw these beautiful settings, and I saw a setting that had a very antique look. And if you put the round diamond in the center, it's surrounded by other diamonds. From afar, it looks like an emerald. And I thought that was cool. And I liked all the diamonds, and it was a big ring, which I didn't think it would matter to me, but it really fucking did. Still does. So that was it. So we picked the setting, and then I left the room for him to negotiate the price. I didn't want to be there. And so I knew, I'm a grown woman. I want to know what's going to be on my hand for hopefully the rest of my life. So I knew that he had it picked out. I didn't know when he would pick it up. I didn't know when he would propose. Unbeknownst to me, he had picked it up. It was ready a week later. He picked it up. It was in his pocket at dinner the whole night, and I didn't know. And he was the whole time just praying. He's like, oh my God, please don't let her get cold and want to wear my jacket. And while we were at dinner, his mom had come in with my assistant, Emily, and they had brought in flowers and set up candles. And that way when we came home, it was all set up, and we walked upstairs, and I was unbuttoning my pants to go pee. And he goes, wait, before that, let me do this. And he turned around, and all the flowers and stuff were set up. And I don't remember what he said because I was so excited. And he asked me to marry you. So it was a bipartisan effort. It wasn't a surprise with a chip of a diamond when we were 19. So that's the story.
Kick it. Anastasia says,
it was perfectly him. Wasn't ostentatious. It was low key. It was very Noah. Mm-hmm. And that's what matters, is that it's very him versus a parade.
Mm-hmm. Anastasia, would you ever do this show live, like on SiriusXM or something? I feel like so much of this would be great if we could get live info / background clarification / questions, extra general squeezes for the Snow Peach. Thanks for the pod. Okay.
Yeah, if they paid me.
Hold on.
What?
We do live shows with Looped.
Oh, yeah.
And so we always put those up on the Ask Iliza feed when we're going to do them. We text about it to Eliza's text list. If you go to Eliza's Instagram, Eliza S on Instagram, there's a button you can click text. Click that. And text her, and you will get the info, because we do a live show and then we take the questions directly from the chat, and it's super fun.
Super fun.
And you can actually go back in our archives, and any episode that says Looped in it is one of the live episodes where we've taken questions.
Yeah.
In terms of doing it like radio, like every day, I mean, Iliza has so much going on. Like, we fit this in when we can, and we have not missed a week ever. We've really kept on top of it, but it is something that we have to make time for.
I don't have the bandwidth to do a daily show. It would have to be, honestly, a lot of money, and I could do it from home. So it really comes down to pay and schedule. So that's it. I'm just very busy.
Very busy. So this works.
I have been offered a show.
Yeah.
On a very large terrestrial streaming platform, and did not work for me.
No, this is the right amount of commitment for now. And when you listen to this, we actually have the little microcasts, the little Bud Light microcasts that are coming out every week. So it's a little extra content each week.
But hey, money talks.
Yeah. Yeah. Damon, how do you stay in a positive light when the world around you is a shit show? A bit of background. I'm currently stuck at home probably until September, hopefully, because of all this COVID stuff. Being differently abled in a wheelchair, I find it very hard to socialize with people, even with the toilet that is Facebook. With all my usual activities closed and the guy that's supposed to come in and help me not coming until presumably September, it's very hard for me to see things in a positive light. So Damon's stuck at home.
Yeah.
He's not, how do you stay positive?
I mean, look, I'm not the world's most positive person, but under it all, I'm an optimistic person. I'm a happy person. I wake up happy. Everybody has days where you feel like you're being kicked in the teeth. The world is what you allow in. So if you are on Twitter all day, reading news all day, like, it will take a toll on you. There are times where I'm on Instagram and I'm like, why do I feel so bad? And you realize, because look what you're allowing into your space. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to only want to read happy news. It's okay to program your algorithm so that you're only looking at pictures of plants and Japanese cooking videos. It's all about what we allow in. If you wanted to close your brain to anything political, you can. So realizing that it's not up to you, the weight of the world is not on your shoulders. Maybe you have a hobby that takes your mind off things, reaching out to people. You stay positive. The truth is, everything will be fine eventually. It's just going to be a little different and weird, but like, it won't be like this forever. Nothing is like something forever unless you're dead, in which case you're dead forever. So don't be so self-loathing. I'm not calling you a narcissist, but like, there's other things out there. It's easy for someone like me to be like, just enjoy life, like have fun or whatever. I can't even pretend to relate to how you're feeling, but you have control over what you put in your brain. You have control over the books you read, over your hobbies, over the TV you watch. Take a break from everything and just escape. That's why so many people love video games or like role playing and stuff like that, because it's a break from a harsh reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes my hobby used to be, I would look at my calendar and be excited about all the places I was going. So now sometimes I just look at the Instagram create button and I look at the like on this day video and I just remember what I did a year ago. Kick it.
Hi, everyone. I recently took a job at a lodge in the mountains. It relies very heavily on hospitality and being a good host. I grew up in the South, so I have a good idea of Southern hospitality, but it's not quite the same thing. My question is, what tips do you have for being a good host? Thanks. So first that,
a host at work?
At a lodge in the mountains.
I don't know. I don't work there.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you this, as someone who travels a lot.
Here we go.
There's nothing worse than you go to check in to your hotel and the person in front of you values a phone ringing more than you. That drives me crazy. Like somebody that's checking in, especially a mountain lodge, they've traveled a long way. They've schlepped up there And like, there's just some kid like, hold on a second, Ramada Inn, Bayview. So making that person feel welcome. I know that you have to for your job, like give the whole rundown. I just want my room. People are like, and just so you know, our shitty buffet is from 5 to 6 a.m. There is a wine and cocktail hour. I never like to hear because like any wine and cheese cocktail hour I can't go to because I have a show. And so I was like, our restaurant is open. Here are the hours for the gym. I personally never like extra information. I will ask if I want to know something, inundating me with it right off the top. But being welcome, being present, cheery, making that person feel like we're glad that you're here, making that making that check-in smooth. Mm-hmm. I always check in under a surname, my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, Schlesinger. And they're like, And I'm like, is it possible there's a C? Oh, yeah. Being proactive, just making that person not have to wait a moment longer than they have to. Mm-hmm. And just having a nice attitude, but not being overly sunny.
Yeah.
Happy you're here. Anything I can do, let me know. Just making it like, hey, we're glad that you paid, that you're using your money here.
Yeah.
But don't give too much info. Nobody cares. Nobody cares the hours of the rock garden.
Right. Okay. Second question. The summer is our off season, so everyone that works here has random tasks maintaining the lodge and the hundreds of acres around it. How do you deal with a boss or manager who has unrealistic expectations? He will give me and one other person 2 days to lay 3 acres of sod like we're a full team of professional landscapers. Even then, I still think it would be unrealistic to expect professionals to do it in 2 days. We don't even have lights and can't work when we can't see. My boss still gets frustrated even when we calmly and rationally explain that it's not enough time. I've already signed a contract for the end of the year, so I can't get out until January.
Yeah, but more importantly, you can't get fired.
I should also mention I'm a 20-year-old girl who weighs 110 pounds. I'm used to long days with physically exhausting work, but as much as I hate to admit it, there are just some things I can't do when working 10 to 13-hour days.
You don't have to do anything other than your best at your job. Mm-hmm. And your boss, it sounds like he's answering to a higher power. So he's getting frustrated probably because the owner is like breathing down his neck. But like there have been times with Emily where I've asked for something and she's just like, I cannot do that. Mm-hmm. I won't do that. And here's why. And honestly, if you're a good worker and you're doing your best, like they can't make you. And if you can't lift something, you can't get something done. All you can do is the best that you can. And he can't fire you over that. And that's that. Let him spin out because of it. You know, he obviously has a lot more invested. All you can do is your best.
Right.
But hold on. It's not up for you. It's not your place to say to him, oh, that's unrealistic. All you can say is, I will do my best and get done. What if it is realistic and it's just that you're not a landscaper, so you don't know? It's not your place to tell him that can't be done. All you can do is say, we'll do our best and try within the hours allotted to do your work. Mm-hmm. That's all you can do. That's all you should have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Can't.
Okay, it's time for Top of the Cob.
It's time for Top of the Cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite. Top of the cob.
Oh, that song. It's so good. Obviously, my Top of the Cob is this new thing in my life, this new staple of my morning routine called Morning Sweetness with Tianfu. I usually sleep with my phone plugged in outside of the bedroom, but now I keep it plugged in near me so that first thing I can wake up and I have very sweet, tender moments with Tianfu. It started out me being like, look how sweet she is. She's so melty in the morning. But every once in a while she like flips out because she's all excited to play and get her cookie from the floor. So Morning Sweetness with Tianfu has become just a montage of her spazzing out. And then we play before she goes out for her big dump and her breakfast and a whole day of playing with her bow. So people like it too. I think they like seeing us wake up together. Morning Sweetness. Waking up with the pet that you love is the best thing. Blanche and I had a little routine. I would drum my fingers on the side of the bed and she would come out and jump on the bed. Blanche and Tianfu both will wait for hours for me until I wake up. They won't leave my side. Blanche will never leave my side. So that's my top of the cob is my Morning Sweetness with Tianfu.
My Top of the Cob is I love when I find a new actress or actor, but let's be real, it's an actress that
sleeping in their home
where I watch a movie and I really love it. And then I go and look at their filmography and I watch a few more and they're all just great. And it's just like so fun because at this point it's mid-August, and I've seen 300 movies this year that I had never seen before, because what else am I going to do in this pandemic? And so much of them are bad, and I feel like I'm running out of movies that will excite me. Like,
you could watch some good movies. I watched Schindler's List.
I'm running out of movies that are like, that I just watched, and I'm like, oh, I have a new favorite. But I found a new actress, and I watched a bunch of her movies, and I was like, I love all of these. Like, this is so up my alley.
So you finally saw Spencer Confidential. Thank you.
I saw Spencer Confidential before it even was out. We went to that cool Netflix screening that was just us and Winston Duke and some other guys.
That's funny. Yeah. My bottom of the cob. I'm really starting to understand how much PTSD my dog has suffered. My bottom of the cob is her constant fear of people and the grumble that she does. I feel bad because anyone that comes into our home, she flips out. Going into someone else's space, she's not like that. And if you hold her, she's fine. But my heart breaks for her that she is that petrified of mostly men. And that means just something horrible happened to her. And I used to think it was like, oh, some guy just picked her up, tied her mouth shut, threw her. But I think somebody really abused her. She doesn't like it if you like whip laundry, like what you do with a shirt before you fold it.
Right.
Any voice in the house, she retreats under the bed, and she's so scared. Noah had 2 people over for a business thing the other day, and she grumbled the whole time, and I brought her outside, and her little back was all contorted, just like terrified, staring at them. The masks don't help, and it just takes time, but it breaks my heart that she's so scared. Something happened to you. Someone was mean to you.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah. My bottom of the cob is that I woke up yesterday and have a constant ringing in my ear.
That's the bottomest of cobs. That sucks.
Yeah, and I have so much audio to edit this week, yesterday, and the rest of this week. Like, I've never had as much audio to edit as I do this week, and any sound makes just this like hollow undercurrent sound along with it. I feel like I'm going insane. So now I'm taking Flonase and Claritin and hoping that clears up ear fluid, which is ridiculous.
I'm so sorry, but I need you to lay all this sod by the next 2 days. That's our show. Get ready for more episodes presented to you by Bud Light. We got more episodes of Ask Iliza Anything. We're here for you. We're getting through this pandemic together. Wear a mask. Be a person.
Butterball knows Thanksgiving can bring so much joy, but also so many cooking questions. What size turkey? What's the best way to roast? How do I carve it? Don't panic. Butterball is here to help. Just give us a ring at the Butterball Turkey Talk line. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456 to reach our turkey experts. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
It's time to have your high five moment with High Five Casino, the top social casino where the action and real prizes never stop. Fun spins and big wins are right at your fingertips with over 1,000 games, including High Five Casino exclusives. High Five Casino is always free to play with free coins given out every 4 hours. Sign up today and get free welcome coins you can spin for a chance at cash prizes. Visit highfivecasino.com.
High Five Casino.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.